let's go over the dark results for AEW.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
Hey, you ready, Konnan? All right. So, Excalibur and Taz were on commentary for this, by the way. That's what it says.
This is the one that Dark is the one that's on YouTube.
Yes.
Well, there's two, Dark and then Dark Elevation.
Dark Elevation.
Both on YouTube, yeah.
Well, nobody watches Dark Elevation. People watch Dark. Our fans, a lot of fans of Dark.
That's where the big show is on Elevation.
Match 1, Max Caster defeated Trevor Aeon.
Who?
Match 2, Very Morales
Who?
got beat by Serpentico. You know Serpentico, right? Yeah,
that's a partner of the wild guy. That's Chris Jericho's friend.
Yeah.
Luther.
Chris Statlander defeated, wait for it, Ava Everett.
Who? What?
Dark Order's match 4. Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds defeated Peter Avalon and my boy Cesar Bononi.
We know them, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't seen them in a while. It's good to see they're still making history on Dark.
Wait a minute.
Brock Anderson, Brian Pillman, and Griff Garrison defeated.
Wait a minute.
This is great. They defeated Larry Lazard.
Right. Who?
Jay Lucas.
Who?
I think Jay Lucas was a former basketball player, wasn't he, for the Houston Rockets back in the day?
Well,
but you're going to love this next guy. Terry Yaki.
That's tremendous. Teriyaki's over with me.
Teriyaki. But they beat him, though. All right. Match number 6.
Why would you beat a guy called teriyaki?
I have no idea.
He should partner up with some guy called soy sauce or ramen noodles. And,
listen, what they have a
Chris
guy that
Daniels. What he used to be Mr. Curryman. Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, this is after 5 matches, right?
Right.
I guess the guy that's reviewing the show is some guy named Breyer on ProWrestling.net. This is what his take was about that match. Breyer's take. Here's what his take for that match. Nothing much to say about this match, as it was really predictable. It's like, isn't every match really predictable? I mean,
come on.
Yeah, no.
The match number 6, Diamante defeated Devlin Macabre.
Who?
He is the mission. Devlin Macabre.
Wow, Diamante's still there. I didn't know that.
Match number 7, Tony Nese defeated JDX.
Who?
Oh my God.
I don't know who that is. Match number 8, Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb defeated. Yeah, how would you pronounce this, Joe? Yaide?
Yaid?
Yaide?
Yaid, maybe?
Okay,
And
whether
Anna-
it's Yaide or Yaide.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if that's her. Okay, because it says Yaide and Anna Diaz. Okay, that was the team.
Okay,
But I don't know if it's Yaide and Anna Diaz.
Any variation of Yaide, Yachters, Jagermaster, anything in between. Who?
They should have a guy called Jaegermeister.
And Teriyaki.
Oh, the main event on Dark, Jay Lethal defeated Blake Christian via pinfall.
Yeah, I've heard of Blake
Yaid, if you can call her that. Looks like she's from Puerto Rico.
Let's listen to this Mark that reviews the show. I'm gonna give
Puerto
you.
Rico.
You got to listen to his take on this show, right?
Right.
So this poor guy has to review the show, and I guess he's like an intern at ProWrestling.net. Like, you have to watch Dark and do your reviews and write them out. But here's his take on the show, right? A solid back and forth match, which is one would expect from these two. It would be nice if they could get a television match on Rampage sometime in the near future. Boy, think about that. It's like
what match is it?
This was the main event, Lethal over Blake Christian.
Oh.
This was the match of the night for sure. Overall, a passable episode of Dark. There was really nothing that stood out other than the main event. The Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb tag match was intriguing since their pairing has recently started, so it'll be fun to see where it goes from here. It's hard to get excited about these matches with unknown opponents who are rarely seen at AEW because most of the time the matches are predictable. It's reps and experience for the wrestlers, but it'd be nice if we could get some kind of video packages on YouTube or social media on the lesser-known opponents before they wrestle the AEW stars.
Well,
And
you
he
could
actually
always
rates-
go on Google like they told Billy.
Right. And then the final score of the match, 6.5 out of 10.
This must be like a younger dude because he has no memory or concept of like the old squash shows, that like WWE and WCW did.
Like he's new to watching wrestling and say, hey, watch this show and review it. And he's like giving he's like stating the obvious, you know.
Right.
So, all right. So that's been our AEW Dark review.
Nice.
All right.
Well,
let's go to Dynamite.
As I said earlier, I would have some hot news on the New Japan and AEW Forbidden Door show. So the first
Did you
thing,
say that?
Yeah. So the first thing I was told earlier was that Ishii wasn't happy with being on Forbidden Door and ripped the show in a Japanese interview because he didn't want to be in a four-way match. They don't do them in New Japan. And then just a few hours later, Ishii pulled.
But you're not in Japan, dude.
He pulled from the show. He's not going to do the show anymore, and it's supposed to be an injury. But being that I was told hours before he was unhappy with it, I'm going to second-guess that a little bit. And he's being replaced in the four-way match by Clark Connors.
Who?
Sounds like a superhero's real name, doesn't it?
It's like if Jimmy Connors was doing a Superman gimmick, his name would be Clark Connors.
Yeah, I'm not aware of Clark Connors. And the other one that I mentioned earlier was Okada's not too jazzed about doing the show. As it's his wife's birthday, and he was booked for it super late, and that's not how they do things in Japan. So he supposedly wasn't happy about coming in to do the show, but they offered him some good money. So
interesting. So let's get to the Dynamite.
Oh, and I have a side note I wanted to bring up with DI.
Okay.
You mentioned last week in the mailbag a story about Raven coming into WCW and not wanting anyone else to use the DDT.
Yes.
Well, I asked him about it on the Raven Effect, and he has categorically denied those charges. He says that never happened. Just so you know.
Okay. He could categorically deny it, but we have two witnesses and could probably, like any actually we'll do that, okay? Any WCW guy we ever have again on the show that worked with us back in the day, we're going to ask them if Raven would get upset when people do DDT.
He said, why would he...
right into the mailbag.
Yeah, he said, why would he do that? Everyone used the DDT. He would have looked stupid, and he was fine with it because his DDT would just be placed as better than everyone else's.
Okay, so maybe they've listened. Maybe they listen to us because every week on Dynamite, they open up with the match, and I said they need to change that format up a little bit because like it just the format of the show like hasn't for months on end was like the same, right? But they open up with a promo. Daniel Bryan, and Bryan said he was planning on being part of both events, and Chris Jericho had even paid Zack Sabre to challenge him. He's also looking forward to participating in Blood and Guts of Jericho and his flaccid coxman a taste of their own medicine. Bryan then said he had good and bad news. He said the bad news is he's not cleared to compete at Forbidden Door or Blood and Guts. And he got, it's just that same injury from when he fell in between the ring and the ramp?
It's not been made clear, really, actually. So I'm not sure.
Bro, they've got a lot of fluke injuries.
Yeah, it kind of their whole idea here, you know?
I mean, Bryan Danielson with the fluke injury, and Punk had the fluke injury, too, when he jumped into the crowd.
Yeah. It says Danielson's been dealing with an undisclosed injury. It also caused him to miss a recent meet and greet.
Well, and let me tell you what else, too, is the style in that company is not, it's not the best for guys that are older in their bodies and recovery and stuff and everything. So
well, Brian Alvarez has reported the impression that I was given as of today is that he is not cleared and he might not be cleared for a while. So,
he got fired up and said not to worry about him coming back because he's mentally sharp and there's no one who can compete like he does in the ring. He said the good news is that he's found one person who can take his place against Zack Sabre Jr. and everyone would be astounded by what he does in AEW. Bryan then refused to give his name, reminded the fans that he came out of the bad guy tunnel. He said that he then said he wasn't going to tell Zack Sabre Jr. either, and asked the audience who the best technical wrestler in the world is.
So he's a heel in the Blackpool Combat Club, or heels then? He said,
I don't know.
Came out of the bad guy tunnel.
Then Zack Sabre Jr. walked down the stage, and what did he do? Did you see this, Konnan? What he did?
Yeah, he stared him down.
Yeah, but hey,
that's all you need. Oh my God! A lot of people have never heard of or ever seen, and we won't bother playing a video package explaining who I am. You should know who I am.
I know Disco doesn't give a about this, and maybe Konnan even as well. Maybe you do a little bit, but that sucks.
Let me get my kazoo
That sucks for the hardcore fans, like Observer readers, because for them, for the last 10 years or so, there's only been two guys to win that Best Technical Wrestler award. And it's called the Bryan Danielson Award. And the other guy that's won it recently was Zack Sabre Jr. So that was a dream match.
But the problem with that, Joe, is that there's other fans besides hardcore fans, and you've got to, keep them in mind also.
Yeah,
it just
of course.
can't be everything for them.
Right.
Pull up the rating for the show. It had to have gone up.
But honestly, this whole show's not for the casual fan, And
no, it's completely. Yeah. It's for complete.
Yeah,
bro, it's even for the inner circle of the echo chamber.
Yeah,
it's even a more like.
Yeah, he's almost kind of like a politician. He's catering to his base.
It says Dynamite,
and they love him for it.
Netted 878,000 viewers. With Okada's debut, it says. So this site's giving credit to Okada.
It didn't even reach 900, right?
Bro, Okada was on for 1 minute.
So where's wait. I don't understand the credit.
I
don't know.
What was it last week?
It was way down last week.
Way down.
Yeah. 761.
Okay, the week before that.
761 last week.
The week before that?
Let me see.
It was like they lost like 20%.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, last week was you didn't do the review of anything. I said last week the show was way down.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you why it's down. It's down because like you're parading all these guys and nobody knows who they are. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like you just change the channel at some point, right?
Yeah, you're getting a pop in the crowd, but a lot of people at home are going, who the are these guys? Like when that guy that came up with Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
I've already seen him on the show once before, and I'm still don't even know who the he is. Khan or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, let's let John Moxley try to explain some stuff here because he had a backstage interview and he said.
Okay, but let me just say about Danielson because I thought he did an excellent job of promoting the mystery guest. He did an excellent job of promoting the show. I also liked when he said something about Zack Sabre. You're lucky I'm not going to face you because I would have crushed your trachea and the place popped. He really put over the surprise guest. I like when he took the shot at Kingston. He goes, I heard you saying I'm a judgmental prick. You're damn right I'm a judgmental prick because I have high standards. I like that might be going somewhere because why did he bring it up?
Is Eddie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's Eddie's, do these guys have, because like I see Eddie taking shots at like Moxley on Twitter.
Eddie's like your typical guy that kind of like me that he just speaks his mind. You know what I'm saying?
No filter, like even if it's like
zero filter, you don't give a.
Doing an angle, I'm still gonna say something. If
he's not acting the role. That's how he is.
Right.
And if you don't really know him, he could be a little bit annoying, but I love the guy to death, and that's who he is.
So, Konnan, since you asked, last week was that low number of 761,000, and the prior week was 939.
Right. Yeah, because it's been going down. Yeah. I just thought great job by Brandon Danielson all those years that he was at WWE, bro. But the Zack Sabre thing was anticlimactic. He just walks out. They both point at each other, and that was it. He didn't beat him up. There was no video package explaining who he was, and they missed a big. This could have been an even better segment if most people knew who Zack Sabre was, and you don't just assume people know who he is because he's wrestling in Japan.
Bro, let me tell you. I gotta be honest. I don't. Okay, the booker of when you write a show, right? You go to you tell the production guys, hey, I need a package on this, and like here are the bullet points in the package, and you got your production guys that are good, and they're all right, and you trust them. Okay, we're gonna put together a good package, right? You get you got guys like Jeremy Borash and David Sahadi and stuff. You get guys that could do this, right? Bro, I don't think Tony. This is part of the rookie booker thing. I don't think he understands. Bro, you got to write packages into the show to narrate the stories and let like. I don't think he's. I don't know if he has anybody to lean on to say, "Hey, I need a package."
Bro, but look, you gotta think. Like in AAA, there are times where people came out to wrestle and we didn't have packages and they complained. But I don't have time to explain to people we didn't have the resources and we didn't. Right. If you don't have the resources, you don't have them, and that's all there is to it. He's got all the resources. He's got QT Marshall, who like kind of writes all the formats down. He's a sharp guy. If you speak to QT, he is a sharp guy who should be saying, hey, why don't we put in a video package here? He's got these wrestling, like...
They got to hear the criticisms.
Like wrestling nerd, and I don't say that in a bad way, but like Excalibur, who knows every thing that's going on, who should be saying, hey, why don't we stick, or Chris Jericho or whoever saying, hey, why aren't we sticking a video package, explain why this person is here. So I'm sure somebody's telling him, but bro, the guy's probably doing so many things, at the same time, because I just do one TV show, which is every 2 weeks plus whatever the pay-per-view is, and I'm a consultant on some other promotions, but he's writing and booking and like 5 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, so Moxley is going to explain some stuff. He said next week in Blood and Guts is going to be personal. So they burnt. This is interesting because we have the Forbidden Door, and now they also have to promote Blood and Guts out of the Forbidden, which is kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird position. They should have done Blood and Guts 2 weeks.
Yeah, because I think the Forbidden Door came up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and they had to stick it in where they could.
Yeah.
He said they burned his best friend's eye, put his partner on the shelf, and next week he would get his revenge. He said he hated Jericho. Well, we found out they could fight. Next week they would find out whether or not they could survive. He questioned how much they could endure inside a bloody steel cage. He said on Sunday it would be the most important match of his life against maybe the greatest professional wrestler that ever lived. He said he would. Then this is good stuff because the people that don't know this guy, it's like you got to, like you can either bury your opponent in promo or talk the guy up, and it's like he has to talk the guy up to make this interesting,
Right, so you're beating somebody.
Right. Yeah, he said he would transform into what he thought he could be, and on Sunday it was going to be personal. Moxley said once the bell rings, he has no respect for anyone. So Moxley's good on the mic. Moxley never has a miss on the mic.
Sure.
He always cuts a decent promo, and every once in a blue moon he'll cut a great one. But these are all effective.
You know what's interesting to me about the show, even though I'm not crazy about the New Japan stuff, but what interests me is the booking because you see here it's Moxley versus Tanahashi in the main event. So you assume Moxley's going over because it's AEW that's booking it. But New Japan has been known to be strict about who their guys lose to and stuff. So I guess maybe there's going to be some tradesies where maybe they break it even, 4 matches for AEW, 4 matches for New Japan, whatever. But that's what I find interesting, how they're going to navigate this and who's going to win the matches,
This was a good promo by Moxley. Usual never has a bad one. He understands his character, portrays it perfectly. My only criticism of him is that he looked scrawny, and it was hard for me to put my belief in the right place as this ass kicker, But
Right.
he bulked up now. He looks great. I like how he tried to put everybody over in the match, including like if Utah was on their level, which he isn't. Bro, Utah's a nice guy, but he's not on their level, and they talked about him like he is. But
Right.
I guess this is one way of building him up, putting him over in promos.
All right, let me give you the take of the guy that reviewed this show is Jake Barnett. Here's
Right.
his take. No timetable was given for Bryan's return, which could either be encouraging or discouraging, depending on how you interpret the information. The mystery aspect of the Zack Sabre Jr. match isn't as intriguing as it seemed to think it was. I would rather had a few days to get excited about the match personally. Moxley's promo was good, but I'd rather have him give him a promo in front of the crowd on the go-home show. I'm now officially worried the show is going to be on fast forward, trying to deliver too much information. So then we have a match, Aussie Open, who is Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis.
Who?
Mark Davis is a former. It's good to see him in professional wrestling because he's a former first baseman for the Chicago Cubs.
I thought he was a
Really?
former small forward for the 76ers.
Yeah, it's a very common name. I don't get the same Aussie. I guess they're Australians, but Aussie Open is a dumb name for a tag team. That's the Australian Open Tennis Championship.
Mm.
They're naming themselves after the Australian Open. That's whatever. But Will Ospreay's with them against Roppongi Vice, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy. And basically, it's a 6-man. I didn't watch this, but I'm going to give you I saw the exciting post match of this. But basically, Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice defeat these guys. So Will Ospreay's record now going into this pay-per-view is 1-2. Okay. After the match, Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan joined the rest of the United Empire. FTR joined the Babyface squad, and that forced the United Empire off the apron. And that's a setup for their match on Sunday. What'd you think of that?
Right. Well, like I said, whoever Jeff Cobb's partner is, I was like, who? I watched this match because I knew there'd be some lucha involved, which there was. Rocky and Beretta are very underrated workers. Beretta just has no charisma. Rocky's straight.
Why'd he cut his hair?
Beretta?
I don't.
Yeah, he looks very average with the hair, with his head shape.
Might have wanted to just change his look or
I
something.
mean, at least he had the hair with the bandana. Cheesy, but the guy had hair,
Right.
which kind of makes him stick out a little bit. He looks like I don't know. Just with him with no hair, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm big fan of Slick Rick, so I like the homage to Slick Rick with the eye patch. They did this move at the end with Orange and Ospreay, the Slumdog Millionaire type. That was sick, and I think their match is going to be really good because we've seen Cassidy against Pac, and Will Ospreay is just one of the greatest wrestlers out there right now. So I think that match is going to be good. I want to watch that.
Yeah, I said that to someone earlier too. That he was really down on it. Like that's who they're going to give Ospreay. I'm like,
and Orange is still very over.
Yeah,
even though they don't push him anymore, but Orange is still very over with that crowd.
I think it's going to surprise people.
Our boys backstage, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh. Dutt said it was Sanjay and Jay are very professional on the mic.
Right. Right.
Dutt said it was time for celebration. They were headed to India, and Lethal said he wanted to become the next Ring of Honor TV champion. That requires Samoa Joe to go back to work. He told him the clock was ticking. If he didn't return to work, then the title should be returned to the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion, Jay Lethal. So get your ass to work, Joe.
Okay, let me tell you something real quick. This was a very good promo by Sanjay and Lethal, and I'm happy for both of them because they're two of the better guys in the biz. I did tell Sanjay that we popped that he always has a pencil in his ear. And I'd like to add this little side note. Sanjay may have been the only wrestler besides maybe 2.0 who did not threaten you with vile, vehement language or extreme bodily harm.
He did.
Would you like to know two of the guys that did...
Wait, threaten you with bodily harm?
Yes, threaten you with bodily harm, not me.
Wait. Okay, so this was your appearance at AEW?
AEW, I was backstage, and, people come up to me, and they're like, hey, say hi to Disco. Sanjay was one of them.
Okay, Sanjay said, okay, all right, here's what I want to hear. I want to hear the people that said, say hi to me, and the people that had vehement language directed at me and did not have nice things to say. Okay, right. So here's the people that said, say hi. Sanjay Dutt.
Right, and 2.0.
2.0, okay.
Right.
That's it?
Kazarian.
And Kazarian, good. All right, cool. So 4 guys.
Okay, right. I'll give you some names because there was too many to name on the other side. But Chris Jericho.
What do you say?
But no good. That when he sees you, he plans on. I don't even want to get into details, bro. It's pretty hideous.
All right.
Matt Hardy.
Even though I hooked him up with his wife.
He doesn't care. You've got heat with him.
Did he tell you to tell me hi?
I'm gonna sue his ass for the.
Nobody told me.
I've decided I am gonna sue his ass for the slander in the books. If that's the case,
you should. Matt Hardy did not had choice words for you. So did Rebby.
Oh, Rebby was there.
No, but he made it.
He said I got heat with Rebby.
Yeah, because you made fun of their kids' names.
You don't want
because
that.
You
making fun of
the Bartholomew as Barty.
Yeah. That's what people are going to call him, Bart Hardy.
Okay, well,
all right, so you can tell Rebby, I'm sorry, but don't name your kid Bartholomew if you want all the kids in high school to call him Bart Hardy. You don't want them to call Bart Hardy because that's what they're going to call him. They're going to call him Big Bart Hardy if he turns out to be a big guy.
Wow. I want to see the confrontation between you two.
Big Bart Hardy. Okay, who else?
Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
What did he say exactly?
He said that because I told him, that we have Adam DeMoy on the show.
Right.
And he said, yeah, I know that those 2 idiots talk about me all the time.
He didn't have a good thing. So basically, is my heat from Tony, is it residual heat from having the association with Adam DeBoy on the podcast, the roundtable?
Right. Part of it.
That's a piece of the pie, yeah.
You might have some from before that.
All right.
I'm sure you making fun of his earring is not high on the list.
Well, we're going to get to this next segment then.
All right.
Tony was in the ring and invited Christian Cage out to explain his actions last week. Crowd booed and Christian said he could stand there all night until they shut up. He said he knew the people in Milwaukee lacked intelligence, so to give them one more chance, Christian then told him to shut up again. And this was good, basic cheap heat because the crowd was getting into it. So, which is fine. I don't mind cheap heat. To start it off, it's fine. Christian recalled Jungle Boy eliminating him for the Casino Battle Royal last year and questioned why people thought he'd let Jungle Boy get away with it. And Tony Schiavone even said, that's kind of petty, isn't it? And he said Jungle Boy cost him a roster bonus in the fast track and a title shot, so it pissed him off. Crowd told him to shut the F up. Christian said he tried to do research about Jungle Boy and then called out wrestling social media. He said he went on social media, but if the boy was that mistake, social media is a cesspool. Cage told fans on Twitter to quit it with the opinions on his business because they don't know anything. Sound like Christian listened to this podcast before.
Yeah, and he doesn't go to the drive. He doesn't go to the drive-in and tell them how to do their work.
Right. Christian said he knew Jungle Boy was talented, so he thought he'd ride his coattails and ride it out. But he didn't expect it to end so soon. He then went on a tangent about people who think they deserve his paycheck, and basically he said, if he gave some free advice, he told people in the back to try and have a match that people remember more than a week after it happens, or one that changes the business and they name pay-per-views after. That's a good shot at the back.
Right.
Christian then addressed Jungle Boy and said the gravy train was over. Now he has to get his own hands dirty, and it pisses him off. This was, like how Wardlow explained in that promo why he was like, the little piss boy to MJF. He said, "Look, I didn't grow up with a lot of money and everything, and I got family to take care of, and I have to do this." It's like, so it's a good explanation. But this was a great explanation for what Christian's been doing. All right. So the gravy train was over. Now he has to get his own hands dirty. It pisses him off because let's not forget when he came in, his thing was outwork everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And then basically said, "Well, I'm just going to hook on this gravy train and not work at all." It's like now I have to work again. I'm pissed off. So it's like this is good. This is a good tone for the promo. Okay. So then they showed the footage of after the show last week of telling Jungle Boy's family they raised a piece of said they gave her the opportunity to apologize for birthing Jungle Boy, but she refused. And Christian said he thought she might have been upset that he walked away because she might have wanted him to be Jungle Boy's father.
That was a great line.
Cage said that Jungle Boy had a father, but now he's dead. That got groans in the crowd. And people are complaining about this, but like this promo is fine.
Bro, I have no problem when you're in the midst of a great promo, because this was a great promo, and you use some cheap heat to further the storyline. Right. But when you're just using cheap lines,
right?
Yeah.
And that's probably, he says he's dead, and it's probably a good thing because he'd be ashamed of his weak son crumbled at his feet, unable to fight back. All right. Then I wish this promo would have just ended right there because then Luchasaurus runs down the ring. And he chokes him in the corner, and Christian was able to talk him down by invoking Marco Stunt and saying he was like a son to him. And he said they needed to talk in the back away from these loser fans, and they walked off together.
But the best part of that whole thing, we didn't need that. But the best part of all that,
kind of gave the look like, but just, bro, this
because Lucha didn't even look like it was doing any harm to him. But anyways, but let me just say this: but the smirk that Chris, and that was not by accident, that he gave the camera afterwards was great.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but this makes Luchasaurus looks like dumb as a box of rocks.
It makes him look dumb, but I think they're trying to perceive him as he's got a noble heart. And plus, we don't know what he told them, so we got to wait and see what he said.
Right.
But
this is like the first angle that Luchasaurus is going to be in, where he has to act, he has to cut pro, he has to do, what I'm saying? He's got to.
Right. He just can't be roaring anymore.
Right.
I think he'll turn. He'll probably turn and join Christian. Christian will be
that would be great. That would be great.
Like, what is he going to be like, Chewbacca?
Well, let me just say this. I thought, MJF has hit 2 out of the park great promos this year, and this was just as good. It was just different. His delivery, the way he explained everything, the logic of it was great.
Right.
He was absolutely brilliant here, and I'm happy for Christian because all the other he'd been doing before was wickety whack.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This was on point like a decimal. Boom.
Well, listen, this is, and I'm of course I always have to be critical about something, but like, bro, for as long as this angle was, you could have, because we were getting to this promo. This is the most. This is like this is where it's like you didn't need this much time to get to this point.
But that's a big. That's a thing they do. They drag a lot of storylines way too long. Yeah.
And it's like you look at where you're. Okay, this was the best part of this. You could have. You shouldn't be waiting on stuff like this. Let's get to this part of the angle quickly and then work from there because this was good.
Their mentality is, let's milk it. Let's milk it. Yeah.
Right. All right. So next is who cares? It's an All Atlantic title match. Oh, by the way, the backstage segment, Young Bucks gloated about being the first 2-time AEW Tag Team Champions, and Kyle O'Reilly said they would join Hikuleo and El Phantasmo against Sting and his cronies at Forbidden Door.
Right.
And I guess that's a match. So,
yeah.
Are you looking forward to that match now, Cody?
No.
Even
though Hikuleo, I like him. He's a real nice guy.
Young Bucks.
Hikuleo's that tall guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I
think he's
Tonga's. What's his name?
He's his son, bro.
Kid, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Real nice guy.
Yeah, it's Young Bucks, Hikuleo, and Phantasma versus Darby Allin.
I don't care. Care. Okay, Malachi Black against Penta Oscuro in a qualifier for the All Atlantic Tag match at Forbidden Door. Or it's a title match. Okay, and this was 9 minutes, and Malachi Black defeats Penta. So once again, the racism against the Mexicans is apparent on the show. These guys never win a match, it seems like. Pac walked down and joined Black and Penn in the ring, and Miro came on the video screen and said he would send the pagans and the demons to meet their maker on Sunday. He told Pac, Black, and Ishii to tell him he wants to talk when they get there. All right.
Didn't he say something at the end? All he wanted was
I
my
didn't see
God,
this. I'm
my
reading
gold,
this.
and my gorgeous wife. Yeah.
Something. Did he say something about his wife at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like when he brings up his wife. When is she
He
coming
better
in?
be coming in because talking about it for over a year.
Right.
I don't know
I'm going to put my wife over. Yeah.
I don't know if he's trying to will it into happening, but I will say this. Anything that Pentagon's in, obviously I'm interested, and I like Malachi Black. This was a really good match. Penta did a good job of selling his back, which led to the finish, and this is a good match, You know
what, bro? You know what they need to start doing with this guy? It's like Penta still gets a decent pop from the crowd. Okay, the people like okay, but he can't talk, and the guy, they're not even letting the guy talk for him. Like okay, bro, they should just do the interviews with the subtitles. Just let the guy talk and do subtitles so we can see what he's saying and let him have some passion and stuff. So I don't know. I just like I said, they're not allowing him to connect to be able to do like weekly TV. He just does matches. Like that's all they use him for. And you need to start getting him involved more stuff. And I'm saying just put him in some conversations with people and do the subtitles. I don't understand why they don't do that. Do you agree? Do you think they should?
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Cole walks out for commentary for this match. Okay, we got Hangman Adam Page, who took shots at the old people on Twitter because we're old people podcast. Podcast against Silas Young.
Oh, very nice.
Do you know who Silas Young is?
Yeah, he's from Ring of Honor.
The last real man.
I don't know why they're. They got a pay-per-view coming up.
You like how Joe knows his nickname?
Maybe they were giving him a try.
Well, why? Bro, go home show for a pay-per-view here, or why is Silas Young wrestling Adam Page? You got to build for these matches. So. Yeah. All right, so Adam Page beats this guy in 8 minutes and 43 seconds. I guess it's a competitive match. I didn't watch this. Cole tried to start story time, but Jay White's music hit and he walked out. White apologized for interrupting, but said he owed him an explanation. White said he has a responsibility to make the Forbidden Door as big as it can be. He then said that as much as he wants to make the show about Bullet Club and Undisputed Elite, his opponent won't be Adam Cole. White walked to the ring and told Page he wouldn't be the opponent either. Page smashed the microphone out of his hand. They brawled a bit, and then Cole gave Hangman a low blow, and White pounced on Hangman, and Cole teased hitting White with the IWG Championship belt. Cole didn't go through with it, and asked White to pick up Hangman. Suddenly, Kazuchika Okada made his entrance, and he and Hangman cleared the heels from the ring. Okay, I'm sorry. I saw this. You can't sit there and tell me that Okada looked good when he was in there brawling with these guys. That did not look like good brawling. He was doing forearms, and this was not a good brawl. They could have done it. Bro, as talented as these guys are, you could have boom, 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 spot, boom, clear the guys out of the ring. This was just, it's like it wasn't even laid out. What did you think of this?
I don't know, bro. I'm not that interested in this. Silas doesn't interest me at all. Okada coming in got a pop, but I think, like I said, only hardcore fans know who he is. You should explain. Well, the commentators did, but they should have like a video package just to show who he is. Somewhere in there, Excalibur was trying to say, oh, that Silas and Hangman Page had a past. Okay, where, please? Or show a video of it or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I guess this guy's from Milwaukee because the people kept going, let's go Silas. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he is. Mm-hmm. It's all right. It's nothing that I'm, going out of my way to see.
Here's you make a good point. When Excalibur is, this is, bro, one thing wrestling fans, what you need, like when you have a situation like this, like he said, they have a history. Like if you're verbally just saying they have a history, it's like, okay, I don't care. Well, show me what they do. You need to show like a video clip of it. Like if there was a show them wrestling, because wrestling fans kind of the visuals work better than like the announcers trying to sell something here, and you don't care. You care more if you show a video of it.
Especially because they have access to the video from Ring of Honor, where they had their feud. Where they had access to Okada from New Japan, so they could show him and all the that he's done matches with Omega, whatever. But so it's not like they don't have access.
All right, so backstage, Stokely Hathaway, Kiera Hogan, and Jade Cargill launched a search for a new battery, because that's what Jade Cargill needs, more people out there with
diluting the product.
Yeah. Right. So Chris Statlander, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jade Cargill dresses like $1 million, and it's like, why is she with these other jabroni girls? You know, it's like this one looks like. Chris Statlander and Athena were backstage mocking Jade for recruiting baddies to stand next to her and find out what she smells like. They said Red Velvet situation is unfortunate, and said it didn't matter how many baddies they had because they had their own baddie in Willow Nightingale. Did you see Willow Nightingale last week, Konnan?
I know who she is because I've seen her in MLW.
Did you see what she was wearing?
Probably what she always wears.
Right. Let me ask you this: what happened to Red Velvet? What am I missing here? Did something happen to Red Velvet? Why? Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
Tony Storm against Marina Shafir, and Tony Storm goes over. I heard this wasn't that good.
Oh yeah, hang on. Red Velvet is out with an injury. Let me see if it doesn't get
from
specific.
what, standing around in promos, because that's all she's been doing.
No, they do Dark and stuff. So they got him wrestling these green indie girls on Dark, and she probably got hurt. All right, so after the match, Nyla attacks Storm. This prompted Thunder Rosa to make the stave, and Storm smashed Rose in the wait. Is that true? The Storm smashed Rose in the face with the championship, and they exchanged looks, and Storm handed back the title. Wait, what am I reading the wrong? Okay, so Thunder Rosa makes a save, and this says I missed this, by the way. It says Storm smashed Rose. Oh, Nyla Rose. Yeah. I'm thinking Rosa. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's okay. They got Nyla Rose and Thunder Rosa, and I got them confused because of reading it. Backstage, Darby Allin announced that Shingo and Hiromu would join him and Sting against the Young Bucks, Hikuleo, and ELP. Who is ELP?
El Phantasmo.
Ray Phoenix versus Andrade was then announced for Rampage and got a short high. And they got a short high package. Ray Phoenix versus Andrade.
That match will be great.
And then Excalibur makes a foray between Jay White, Adam Cole, Adam Page, and Okada for the IWGP Championship. And this says Excalibur ran down the rest of the Forbidden Door card at 300 miles per hour.
Let me just say, this girl Shafir, I said this before and I'll say it again. She definitely needs to be on Dark Elevation or Dark.
Right.
She should not be on main TV. She's
They're
very
putting her on
green.
a lot too. She's
very green. Doesn't know how to work the people. Doesn't know how to sell. No charisma.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we do the main event, which is Tanahashi and Moxley they're wrestling each other, right?
Yes. Main event.
Okay, so they have them as partners.
Yeah, they're teaming up against Jericho and Lance Archer. They brawl for a little bit and get near the end. Tanahashi avoided walls of Jericho, but
Sammy came out, right, with Jericho. Sammy and Talia. Yeah.
Did they explain the association with Jericho and Archer? I don't remember anything with those guys.
Well, they all came and attacked each other. Like they were all like Excalibur. They had a similar thing last week where they had a big brawl,
and Archer
Excalibur was explaining everything in like 100 miles an hour while the brawl was going on. Right. So Moxley and Tanahashi go over Jericho and Lance Archer. Now the fun starts. After the match, Tanahashi and Moxley traded words. Okay, so they're trading words with each other, right? Eddie Kingston then ran down at ringside and brawled with Jericho and Guevara. Wheeler Yuta joined in the action, threw a chair in Guevara's face. Minoru Suzuki and Shota Umino joined in. And then it was a brawl around the ringside area while Tanahashi and Moxley this whole time are just staring at each other in the ring. This was... Konnan, what did you think when you were watching this? I watched this. This to me, I'm like...
I just thought, what a cluster.
Eventually, the entire Jericho Appreciation Society plus Santana and Ortiz exchanged blows while Tanahashi and Moxley traded words calmly inside of the ring. And that was that sentence right there basically sums it up, and it's about exactly as you would think. There's a big brawl going on, and these two guys are just like having a conversation with each other in the ring.
Bro, did this
that is what we call an awkward out. Okay?
This did nothing to make me interested in the match. If you're a new fan, why would you be interested in watching this? I mean, they'd rather just stick a whole bunch of people in the ring brawling than build this up right. But that's been their stilo.
Have a package for a guy. Have a guy in the back have him cut a promo. You know, maybe then go to the guys that have his opponent. Have him cut a promo. I don't know. Whatever. That's been our. This show drew how many? Joe?
What, 878?
870 or something. Yeah, way up from the week before, which is way down from the week before that. But they didn't get back. They didn't get back close to the number they were at 2 weeks ago, which is problematic.
I just think my problem is too many things going on, too many people that are on the show that you don't explain who the they are,
and no Punk and no MJF on these shows, and no Wardlow on this show. You know, bro. Yeah. Like I said, like me and Billy made a great point. Like last week when we were reviewing the show, and it's like we were talking about how like when Vince and when Vince was writing for McMahon, when Russo was writing for McMahon, and when Eric was in charge of WCW. Okay, anybody that like knows like Eric want to know. Okay, what's Hulk doing tonight? What's Hall and Nash doing tonight? Right? Okay. All my top guys, I want to know what they're doing this week, and I want them on TV this week. Okay, all my top guys, and same thing with McMahon. What's Austin doing this week? What's The Rock doing this week? Bro. Like, and Billy made a good point. He goes, the way you book this show is you have your board, and you write down, okay, what's Moxley? What's he doing this week? All right, Jericho, what's he doing this week? Wardlow, what's he doing this week? MJF, what's he doing? You're bro, and just you write your stories. That's your storyline going with your top guys. It's like they just consistently have a hodgepodge of guys that like you're just on the show randomly against guys. I don't know. It's like, but there's like they're missing a lot of guys. Maybe the injuries are hurting them more than we think. But like the fact that they're having so many people on TV each week and we're not
missing
really
a lot of guys, or missing two, right?
Now you're missing Bryan Danielson, Punk. Well, this show you miss Punk, Danielson, MJF, and Wardlow.
Yeah, that's
which is like
big.
Four of the top acts of arguably the four top guys.
Well, but he's got that's the good thing about having so many wrestlers. You got other guys to cover for them, and you were able to bring Bryan Danielson to come out and kill a fire promo.
Right. Yeah, so that was Dynamite, and people. I mean, these are basically this Forbidden Door stuff has set them back a little bit because the numbers have gone down because they just have a bunch of people that people do not care about. Period. You're not going to
except for the hardcore fans.
Well, their thing is hardcore fans, but even like some of your hardcore fans are not interested in Japanese wrestling.
Yeah,
that's the problem. All right.